Anyway, thank you for joining us, guys. We've got plenty to get into today. The biggest situation, I guess, is to do with Manchester United striker position. We're looking, obviously, at mainly two candidates at the moment. It seems Benjamin Sesko is obviously hotly tipped to maybe be on United's list here. We are in now contacts with RB Leipzig and have been over the last couple of days to try and get some sort of a deal in place there. So that's positive. Obviously, United actually have had contacts with RB Leipzig, so it's not just the player they're speaking to, also trying to get an agreement in place there with the football club. So it does seem we're trying to sign Benjamin Sesko, guys. But obviously we are still understood to have that interest in Watkins, and we're just sort of weighing up what to do now. It really does depend on RB Leipzig's terms to the deal for what they actually want. If they're looking for £80 million up front, it's just not really feasible for United to do that right now due to our financial issues, and also the value in the deal. You know, if you're looking at elsewhere in the league, maybe in the Premier League with a proven player, perhaps if you can get somebody like Watkins for a significant amount less than Sesko, then it makes sense. But again, Sesko has a big future, lots and lots of potential, loads and loads of years left on the clock. He hasn't even begun. Whereas Watkins, you know, he's still in his prime, but he's tailing off. He's going to be tailing off in a few years' time, and he's basically going to be leaving us for nothing. So, you know, it depends really what you want. Do you want that Premier League proven player right now, such as Ollie Watkins, or do you want somebody that can get better every season and hopefully be a great player for us, but there's no guarantees. But the reports are coming out thick and fast anyway now that we are in contact here, at least directly with RB Leipzig for Benjamin Sesko. So this is a report here via Fabrizio Romano and Give Me Sport that just says that United have had direct contact with RB Leipzig in the last 48 hours to discuss or to start concrete conversations about the Sesko deal details, with suggestions on a meeting taking place face-to-face in the past few days. So United in contact, United trying, it seems, at least to find the conditions of the deal, see if there's anything that can be done there. United probably in this scenario where we're looking to pay for this player over a certain period of time, like we have done with Mbeumo and Cunha. So depends on how much they're asking for and the structure of the deal that they want. We understand Arsenal had that early discussion in the window with RB Leipzig for Benjamin Sesko, and they could not reach an agreement. By all accounts, if they weren't asking for so much money, then perhaps Arsenal would have actually had Sesko and not Gyökeres. So it does seem maybe RB Leipzig are looking for quite a pretty penny in order to get Sesko gone. Newcastle are sniffing around him as well, and Fab said something along the lines of this. He said that Newcastle are ready to pay what Leipzig wants. They're ready to pay whatever Sesko and his camp wants if he decides to join them. Man United is still working on the deal and ready to speak to Leipzig, right? Okay, so that was this morning anyway, previously before this other update that there has been contact. But, you know, so Newcastle, I mean, obviously they're going to have lots of money coming in there from the likes of the Isaac sale. Man United don't have that luxury right now. They've also got European football. They're just in a bit of a better financial position. So perhaps they are the prime candidates to actually sign Sesko right now. It does seem like Eddie Howe set his stall out there, and that's who he wants to go for, which is Sesko. You know, they've already made the contacts early. They're trying to pounce on him. They haven't really messed around. As soon as this Isaac situation presented itself where he wants to leave the football club, they've basically just made Sesko their target, haven't they? So it does seem like Sesko to Newcastle is a big possibility as well. Depends on what the player wants. Does he want the European football, a more stable team, or does he want to maybe go and be part of something special in the future at Manchester United, a much bigger, better football club? Depends on what the lad wants. But yeah, Newcastle leading the chase right now. We'll ask the live chat here. Who do you think he's going to sign for, guys? Newcastle or Manchester United, or maybe somebody else? Get your thoughts and opinions in there. We'll dip into the live chat. Of course, we're going to have a big Q&A at the end of the show, but do get your thoughts in and out throughout the show. We will be dipping in. Oh, Legend Links Red, welcome in here. Without a night's sleep, that's Gash. No, you've not missed anything at this moment in time, lad. No, you haven't. Newcastle, you reckon? Yeah, well, they have got the money to splash around right now, and if Newcastle actually do want to go and get him and are prepared to pay, I don't know, £70 million up front, then, well, we're going to struggle to compete with that, aren't we? We're not going to be able to pay that much up front, I don't think, right now. We're looking to do structured deals, so for that reason, I feel like Newcastle's slightly more likely, but you have to remember this. Newcastle United win one trophy every 70 years. Does he want to damn himself to mediocrity? Because maybe that's what will be happening. Okay, Newcastle are in a good time right now. Good place with Eddie Howe and the owners and stuff. They're doing all right. But come on, it's Newcastle United. No, they can't compete globally, brand-wise, potentially with Manchester United. United still have huge potential in a few years' time to be one of the biggest clubs in the world again. Okay, no idea, says Superstar. You feel in a better place now than last season? Well, we've bought a couple of decent players, haven't we? Still need to do a lot more business. Newcastle has no pull. Exactly. Man United. If Sesko wanted Newcastle, he would have signed for them already. I don't know. I mean, the actual talks haven't been going on that long, though, Prima lad, to be fair. Like, they only really had this situation start, a week ago with Isaac and stuff. So, I don't know. I mean, they haven't had that long to actually try and get a deal done. It looks like they are trying to get a deal done, though. Marky Harris, how you doing today, lad? Welcome aboard the Bacano Express. Sesko will join Accrington Stanley. Love that. You think Sesko wants Man United? Well, if I was Sesko, I'd want Man United. It makes more sense for a bigger club. Plus, there's a special opportunity, really, at United right now, where there is just this crying need for an actual goal scorer. And if you're prepared to be that guy, you know, you can make something happen. You know, TCG Hub says the real question is War Pig your favourite Aussie song? It's actually not, but I do like that one. But I'd say my favourite Aussie songs are probably, I go with Paranoid and Crazy Train, lad. Finish with my woman, 'cause she doesn't help me with my mind. Yeah, finish with Rasmus Højlund because he doesn't help us with our stats, scoring goals. That's who we need to replace, isn't it? That's what this is all about. Trying to get a new striker in there. So, look, I mean, obviously we're working on Sesko. We're discussing it. We're having direct contact with RB Leipzig and also contact with the players' camp. So we're trying to reach some sort of an agreement there. It does seem we are interested in Sesko. He's our target as of right now, but it just may not be possible. It depends on the conditions of the deal, what RB Leipzig are looking for. If they're asking for too much money, we'll have to turn our attentions elsewhere. And also there is competition for this guy there from the likes of Newcastle, so he may well end up perhaps going to Newcastle. That would leave us with a couple of other options to go for, such as Ollie Watkins. I mean, just interestingly enough, I just saw this stat pop up before we were going live here. This is from Statman Dave, who says that Ollie Watkins' 21 Premier League assists since the start of the 23-24 season is the second most of any player. Only Mohamed Salah, with 28, has more in that period, scorer and creator. So we talk about his goals, you know, his fact that he got 16 goals last season and 23 or whatever the season it was before. But actually, we're talking about a player who can also help us to create a little bit here. You know, and he's a good presser and stuff. So I still favour Ollie Watkins over Sesko anyway. I know Sesko gives us more potential for the long term, and he's a shrewd investment because you're going to keep that value in the player for many years to come. Whereas Ollie Watkins, if you bought him right now, yes, okay, you're going to have a few seasons of good service out of him, but then he's done. So it's one of those, isn't it? What do you want? Do you want proven right now, somebody to slot in there, or do you want somebody who could be great, but also hasn't got that Premier League proven experience? It depends. But for Ollie Watkins, if the price was right, I'd still go for him. Especially considering it seems RB Leipzig are looking for a boatload of money here, and that there's very much interest from Newcastle. And if we take what Fab said on board there, then he obviously has, they've obviously got a clear intention of trying to sign him, because Fab's basically said they're willing to pay whatever RB Leipzig want, which I don't think is the case. Obviously that's not the case, but maybe they do have a bit more money to freely spend right now due to the whole Isaac situation and European football, etc., than us right now. Ruddy Can't Game, what's up? And Dizzy Red Devil, how you been, lad? Long-time legend. Yes, it's been a while. How you doing, Dizzy? One of the Dons. B&G's getting in here as well, lad. How you doing, B&G Darts? Yes, good shout, TCG Hub. Yeah, United's like riding a crazy train. That's so true. We are, we're a bit like the Osborns in general at Manchester United, aren't we, to be fair? Like, just, Ruben, the cat's done a shit on the carpet again. You know, it's all a bit of a mess right now. We certainly have to, sort ourselves out. That's it. Well, we've made some strides, but look, Watkins, I think, is a great option. Why is Watkins out of favour with those numbers? I don't really know. I mean, the only thing I can really think of that the reason why people would prefer maybe Sesko to Watkins, or don't like Watkins, is just because I guess Watkins is kind of, he's not world class, is he? He's top tier in terms of the Premier League. He's consistent, but he's not world class. You know, he's not getting first name on the team sheet in the England team or coveted by the top clubs in Europe. You know, he's an Aston Villa standard player. He's a 6th place standard player, sort of. You know, that's the sort of guy that he is, really. And there's nothing wrong with that. So he's somebody that can fire us to where we need to be over the next couple of seasons, I think. Plus, he's obviously... He's a lot older than Sesko, isn't he? I think the reason why people want Sesko is because he has a higher ceiling than Ollie Watkins. He has the potential to be better than Ollie Watkins in the future. He's certainly not better than Ollie Watkins now, though, if you just look at the stats. I'm sure if Ollie Watkins was playing over there in the Bundesliga, you'd have better stats than Sesko for Leipzig. Sesko's stats are good over there in the Bundesliga, but it is the Bundesliga. His stats are not anything crazy. It's not like he's scoring 1 a game. He's got like 13 and 30 on or something. It's pretty average, really. But he's a decent prospect. He's got a lot of potential in the future to go on and do great things, which means that his ceiling is potentially higher. But also, that's only potential. It doesn't guarantee you anything. Watkins guarantees you somebody who knows the game, somebody who knows the league, somebody who can come in right now. So I do still favour Watkins. I think we should be looking at the mentality of trying to get those Prem-proven players, because I do think it makes a big difference to have somebody come in. Whereas with Sesko, there's still an element of surprise. You don't know exactly how he's going to be. He could be the next Ruud van Nistelrooy, or he could be the next Gasmus Højlund 2.0. That's it. You have to be very careful with your acquisitions right now when you're spending this amount of money as well. We do not need another flop at this moment in time. It depends on the prices, guys. That's what it's going to come down to, I think. Will Manchester United be able to pay what RB Leipzig want? Will we be willing to pay that? Can we get a deal in place structured? And then it will also be a factor of how much could we get Watkins for. So there's an understanding that behind the scenes right now, United is still internally deciding what to do, like who to go for. These two guys are prime candidates. They're top of the shortlist. But who are we actually going to put our funds into? Will it be Sesko for maybe 70 million? Will it be Watkins? Will Villa play ball? Will Villa maybe want to do a deal with Garnacho? You know, there's many factors here. We've still got that Garnacho card to play as well. We don't actually have this guy lined up for sale at the moment. He's supposedly going to be wanted by several clubs, but nobody's put a bid in for him right now. If Emery and Aston Villa are interested, well, that is a perfect way to not spend any money, but still get a new striker, to get rid of somebody who's toxic and want away, and replace him with somebody who we need. So that costs us nothing. In fact, we might even make a few million quid, because we should, because Garnacho is worth more. So that's what I would do. I would actually just try a cheeky little swap here if I could. Why not? Doesn't have to be a straight swap, but, you know, we'll buy him for 50 off of you. You buy Garnacho for 60 back. There you go. You've only spent 10 million on Garnacho, a great young 21-year-old player, is going to be a player for you for many years. It seems a decent deal, that, for Aston Villa, and Garnacho's wages are affordable for Aston Villa. That's if Garnacho wants to stay in the Prem, because he's not going to have too many offers on the table in the Prem. Teams that can afford him and are prepared to take this little egomaniac little prat. There's not going to be that many teams that are wanting to do that, I guess. We've heard Chelsea have an interest, sure, but they're still seemingly going for lots of other players, and they haven't tabled a bid for Garnacho. Aston Villa are a bit skint, therefore this deal actually plays into their hands a little bit there. If they could maybe only spend a few million quid to get Garnacho, which is ultimately what they would do, let's say they sign Garnacho for 55 million from us, and we sign Watkins for 45 million from them, well, they've only spent a net spend of 10 million there, yet they've got a really decent player there in Garnacho for many years. Would Watkins want to come to us? That's another thing. Well, he seemed to be a little bit out of sorts towards the end of last season. They're playing the likes of Marcus Rashford ahead of him and stuff, so surely he would be a little bit irked by his treatments towards the end of last season, but you don't know. But anyway, Watkins, look at those assists, guys. They're not bad at all, are they? They're very good stats. The only person since the start of the 23-24 season to have more Premier League assists than this guy is Salah. And then you take his goals into consideration as well. I mean, if we're just playing the stats game alone, we should go for Ollie Watkins. If we're playing the Moneyball stats game, let's go for Ollie Watkins, because Sesko's too much of a risk right now. He could be amazing, but Watkins is proven hard-working player, proven stats, getting up those numbers, putting up those numbers consistently. We need consistency right now. So I'm still in favour of Ollie Watkins myself. Let's put it to the live chat. Who do we sign, Sesko or Watkins? Have your say. You're in the minority wanting Sesko. I don't think you are, actually, Neil. I think I asked this question a couple of days ago, and the majority of the live chat still wanted Sesko because of his potential and his age. So I think most people actually in the fan base would actually prefer Sesko. I prefer Watkins because I just think we should go for that Premier League proven player right now. And he might well be cheaper. We might well be able to use Garnacho as a make weight, which makes it a much more valuable deal for us. Johnny Swan, welcome in, you legend. By the way, if you're just getting in like Johnny, do us a favour and smash that like button. We've got 190 legends and 86 likes. That's a Gashmus-Hoyland ratio right there. Those are some Hoyland stats, people. Let's get those numbers up. Keep hitting those thumbs up. Help us blitz past 100 likes. Smash the likes and help us get to 169. Nice one. Watkins, no-brainer, 29 prime. Yep, Sesko never played in the Prem before. Got a decent enough squad to take a punt. You still believe Sesko can slot in and score goals too? Well, he may well be able to, but still, you have to say there is a bit more of a risk factor with Sesko than there is Watkins to do that job that you're talking about for someone to come in and slot in. He might be able to, but mights, I don't like mights right now. Watkins for striker, 40 mil. Hayden Hackney, midfielder, 60 mil. Lamans for goalkeeper, 90 mil. Jeffers, I like your style there, Jeffers, I do. Good comment, lad. Sesko could be another Hoyland, scores for a while, then the goals dry up. His stats are not impressive to me over in the Bundesliga, lad. You know, we've seen Timo Werner get 30 goals and 30 out there in the Bundesliga. Crikey. It can't be that hard, can it? Timo Werner, when he came over to the Premier, he's Gasharaba. That's all I'm concerned about, is the way it translates over from the Bundesliga to the Prem. It's not guaranteed at all. Yeah, we can't swap as it will impact PSR, but how Pig explained it is perfect with both teams paying for said players will work. Well, yes, I mean, it's not that common in this day and age, really, is it, where you actually get direct swap deals. It's usually kind of like, yeah, you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. But I think you're absolutely right. Like, if we sign Watkins and then they sign Garnacho, but we have a gentleman's agreement in place to do good deals for each other, then, you know, it could benefit both of us, definitely. Watkins, 50-50. Pretty much split. You take either. Honestly, don't care at this point. Watkins the next two. Well, you know what? The live chat's actually saying Watkins today. Look at this. The live chat's wanting Watkins. Watkins need to think about not 5 years down the road. Yes, I agree with you, Aidan. That's it. We need players right now. So this is our problem a couple of years back, really. We should have had that mentality maybe of getting a few more prime players in, you know, the 25-year-olds like we have done with Mbeumo and Cunha and these guys. And Watkins is only 29, but he's in his prime. He's ready, you know. He's still in his prime years. Those are the sorts of players we do have to look for. Yes, we need youngsters and stuff coming through, but if you think about some of the signings we made over the last few years, spending lots of money on players like Anthony was young, Hoyland was young, and those sorts of players, they haven't really worked out. So it makes more sense to change our approach a little bit, go for someone who's a little bit more proven and experienced. Sesko, Watkins, don't care if it's 50 million, quick fix. Let's have a vote. We're having a vote. We're having a vote right now. Sesko or Watkins, have your say. The Gibbler, what's up, lad? How you doing? Watkins, go for the Fergie playbook, strengthen us and weaken rival teams. Yes, lad. What about Haaland? I don't think so, mate. He's too busy portraying Vigo the Carpathian in the next Ghostbusters movie. Think Watkins is less of a risk for the right money? Yeah, precisely, Simon. It has to be the right money, obviously. If Villa are asking for 60 million, we have to walk away. But if they maybe want 45 million, want to do a deal for 45, and as I say, maybe they would ask for more money if they didn't want to go and sign one of our players. But if they did want to sign one of our players like Garnacho, well, they couldn't ask for an astronomical amount then for Watkins. Otherwise, we're just going to ask for an astronomical amount for Garnacho. So there'd have to be some sort of, you know, understanding there that they'll sell them to us for a reasonable price and we'll sell Garnacho to them for a reasonable price. So it might not be a straight swap deal, but I'm just saying use that as a negotiation point. Yeah. Gungshi says Sesko, but I won't be upset if it's Watkins. I'll support whoever comes in. Great shout there, Gungshi. Yes, and as we've said, it's about what Ruben wants. If Ruben's comfortable with Watkins, if Ruben's comfortable with Sesko, that's great. I kind of feel like from what Amram said in his last presser about going for those, you know, those proven players, I feel like Watkins fits the bill more. But I mean, Sesko has a lot of glamour around the move, you know. Not necessarily glamour, I suppose, but, you know, he's a big young name. He's one of these wonder kids that's been talked about for the last couple of years. He's 22 now. He should be coming into his best years now. Like, there is a lot of like, hope and expectation for this guy over the next 5 years, which is why a lot of people want Sesko, because he does have big potential to be a great player. And he's one of those guys that we could be like, oh, no, we've missed out on this guy. Like, if he goes to Newcastle and just puts up Isaac stats, you know, we're going to be really kicking ourselves, aren't we? That we maybe went for Watkins if Watkins is going to leave in a few years' time for nothing. So I get the Sesko desire from people to want to get him in there. I totally understand, and I agree. I won't be bothered either way. If we end up signing Sesko, great. We've got a great player for now and the future. Well, hopefully for now. And if we sign Watkins, great. We've got a Premier League proven player with great stats who's going to score and create for us, and we'll do well for a couple of seasons, at least 3 seasons. And then, yeah, okay, we're going to be in the same sort of position. Tommy Boyle says, if only Watkins was 2 years younger, he's at that age where his legs might go the next 2 to 3 years. Bit of a Casemiro situation. That's a good analogy, or a good comparison, actually, there, really, Tommy. Casemiro still is a good player for us and still can be a good player for us. But now his money that he's on, the wages that he's paid are not justifiable. He's not that stalwart in the team throughout the season. He's getting older. He's slowing down. He's surely not going to be able to meet the levels that he did as a player 3 years ago. That's just not realistic. So you're signing a player based on what they're doing now, but you do have to look at what they're going to do for the squad in 3 or 4 years' time. If it's a 4-year contract, say, we have to look at what his contribution will be in 4 years' time, and will it be worth paying him what they're planning to pay him in 4 years' time. So that's a very good point. But I still feel like, because it's Ollie Watkins and his wages won't be crazy, it's not quite as bad. Like the Casemiro situation, he's on £300,000 a week. It's obscene money, really. Now, considering his age and what he's expected to do in the squad, it's obscene money. When we first got him, it's understandable because he's coming over as one of the best sort of central defensive midfielders in the world, still at a decent age. But now, it's like, wow, we are getting shafted a little bit there with those wages and stuff because it just doesn't really add up in the squad. He may well be amazing for us this season. He was good for a few months last year, wasn't he? But I'm just expecting Casemiro to be playing slightly less and less of a role as the season goes on and as his career at United goes on. He's only got a year left, probably be leaving for free. But yeah, good comparison, because in 3-4 years, what's Watkins going to be doing for us? Is he still going to be good enough? Will, good comment. He says, Watkins for Garnacho swag seriously makes sense for all parties. Also, not the first time Garnacho would have worn a Villa shirt. That's so true, isn't it? This guy's like twerking for Villa on Instagram. You know it. I know. He's a secret Villa fan. And well, not even a secret Villa fan. He's a public Villa fan. So I do believe there's a good chance maybe he'd be interested in him. It was quite a, what's the word? It's quite a bold move from him, I suppose, to put an Aston Villa shirt on Instagram, even if he's showing support for his friend Rashford. Obviously, I don't know, he seems like he would be comfortable with playing for Aston Villa, mate. Yeah. Watkins for you, Watkins. Well, it's just too much money. He's somebody that we should have maybe gone for if the money made sense, but he would be looking for like 400k a week or something at United. So I'm a little bit surprised that Gallif's going to be managing to do it, but, makes sense if he's happy there. Simple question, do you want a Prem-proven striker or a project? Watkins right now is a no-brainer. Well said, well said. There's nothing of a project about Watkins, but Benjamin is a serious project. You're not wrong. You're absolutely right. He's too much in the Rasmus Højlund mold for me, as in a player that's not proven in the Prem, who's young, who may or well not do well. And look what's happened with Højlund. There's that rough diamond thing about Sesko that's intrigued me for years. There certainly is. Brian, Cunha, Sesko / Watkins all means goals. It really does when you actually think about that money for a second there. So I think our front forward players last season managed to get 21 league goals between them. Absolutely pathetic stats. That's the sort of stats that one player should be getting. And basically one player did get that in Brian Mbeumo. So if he can get anywhere near those numbers again, let's say 15. Let's say Cunha gets another 15. He got that. And let's say Watkins gets another 15. That's more than double the amount of goals that our forwards were able to give us last season. And so that should fire us up the league a good bit in itself, shouldn't it? Yes, there's other areas in the team to strengthen midfield and goalkeepers an issue, but goals is something that we were seriously lacking. If we're able to bring goals to the party, then we should be doing a lot better. That's it. Watkins provides goals and assists. Mbeumo provides goals and assists. Cunha provides goals and assists. These guys on paper, at least, we know that's not always how it pans out, but on paper at least, should be smashing it up for us and providing a lot of goals and assists. So yes, that's something we should be able to say confidently if we get these guys that we're going to add to the season. Watkins, it's no Europe. Sesko actually has more European experience than Watkins, but that won't help us next season. Good shout, Nomad. And the greedy executives need to go. Yes, indeed. Hashtag Glazer shithouses out. Nothing wrong with Jamie Vardy, lad. I'll still take Jamie Vardy right now as the second choice striker. Obviously not to be the main guy, but yes, Jamie Vardy right now, still a good player. Sesko and Højlund, well, I would hope that if we're going to sign a new striker like that for big money, Watkins or Sesko, that we would be getting rid of Gasmus Boylan, at least out on loan. His contract's till 2030, so he could go out on loan and do well somewhere, or you can try and sell him. Rasmus has really hurt Man United's confidence. Thing is with Rasmus, he needs game time. He needs to be playing regularly. If we are going to sign a new number 9, Rasmus is just going to play a bit part. And you don't really need Rasmus. He's not good enough really to be a late impact substitute or anything like that. He's not really good enough. What does he offer us? I wouldn't feel confident with him coming off the bench. I'd rather Doris the tea lady stripping off. What? No, I meant I meant stripping off on the sidelines to come onto the pitch as a substitute. You know what I mean? I'm not Wayne Rooney. But anyway, so Freudian slip there, my friends. But anyway, so what were we going to say? Oh, matron. What were we going to say? We were talking about Watkins, and if you're coming off the bench, you don't want Rasmus Højlund coming off the bench, do you? That's pathetic. So he needs to go somewhere and play regularly anyway. Therefore, a loan or a permanent transfer makes sense. Try and get a bit of cash back. Yeah, that makes the most sense for him and for us. He's not going to play regularly at United. Plus, also, like, if you are going to bring someone off the bench, I'd rather Xerxes coming off the bench late in the game, to be fair. You know, maybe he could make something happen more likely than Højlund. Definitely more likely than Højlund. And then there's other attacking options as well that you'd be able to bring off the bench. So I just don't feel like Højlund even has a place in the side as a backup. I'd rather give an opportunity to a youngster like Chido Obi off the bench than a proven gashbag like Gasmus Boylan. So that's where I'm at with it. I just hope that United do strengthen the striker position. We need 2 strikers coming in. We need to get rid of Højlund. We need to keep Chido Obi and have him utilised throughout the season, you know, sporadically. We need to sign a backup striker such as a Jamie Vardy to chip in 7 to 10 goals in the season off the bench and as and when. And then you need your main guy, where most of the source of goals is going to come from at the top of the pitch there, i.e. a Watkins or Sesko. It's in discussions. Piggy and Doris. Great impression. Thank you very much there, Neil Crow. Appreciate you, lad. Oh, yes. Sesko wants United. If I was him, I would too. Yes, Tommy Boyle. Okay, well, we'll just... Great chat there, guys. We'll get back into this in a minute. We're just going to shelve this Sesko and Watkins talk for a moment. If you're just joining us, though, you know, United have been in contact there with RB Leipzig in the last 48 hours to find conditions of the deal for Benjamin Sesko. So we're on it. We're trying to sign him, it seems, at least. Newcastle, though, however, they are more advanced, if anything. And Fab says that they're basically desperate to get him in and pretty much willing to pay whatever RB Leipzig want. So, you know, that's quite interesting. But let's get on to that goalkeeper position now for a moment. Talk about that for a second. So, right now, you know, we do need to sign a new goalkeeper. At the moment, I think the goalkeeper that is most likely joining Manchester United would be Senny Lamens. Just to give you a little update on Senny Lamens right now. So this is just from this morning. It says that United have growing interest in Senny Lamens, with the Dibu Martinez deal considered complicated. United could wait to sell Anthony to Al Nassr in order to raise enough funds. We'll get onto that in a minute as well about Anthony. But Dibu Martinez, it seems maybe that deal's not too alive right now for Emi Martinez. There are reports that now we are looking at other goalkeepers, maybe due to the fact that our approach for him was rejected. But, I mean, it was just a loan move approach that we made a few days back for him. I'm not surprised it was rejected, but Laurie Whitwell said that United rule out a further approach for Emi Martinez after Aston Villa reject loan offer, unless there's a major change. No sign Andre Onana's leaving the club, so club cannot commit to a big fee, plus wages for Martinez. What an absolute joke! Well, we should be trying to do everything we can to find Andre Onana a new club right now, but it doesn't seem like it's high on the agenda for some unknown reason. I really do wonder what the hell we're doing behind the scenes there when we're happy to stick with Andre. I know he's injured right now. Is it even a real injury? Maybe it's just to take away speculation. I don't know. But he's injured right now. You know, he's on quite big money for the gashtastic goalkeeper that he is. So I suppose he is hard to sell. Nobody really wants him. Probably have to do some sort of a guff loan move. But anyway, Martinez, maybe we're not going in for him. We tried a loan deal a few days ago. Seems like Villa are not interested in that. Surely they want to sell him if they're going to, you know, they're looking for money right now. It's a poor offer from Manchester United, that really. But the choices are, you know, Martinez obviously is still, I suppose, a possibility. He's got the experience in the Prem proven history. Lamens, of course, is the other option. Or, if you believe Core Sport, then Man United are favourites to sign Gianluigi Donnarumma. I mean, come on. This is absolute bollocks, isn't it? But look, I just had to pop it up on the stream there, guys, because this is who we should be going for. It would be lovely, wouldn't it, to try and go and get Donnarumma, one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now. So his situation at PSG is obviously he's on the verge, I think, of signing a new contract. They're going for these big protracted discussions right now. He's just trying to get as much money as he can out of them, I think. I personally think they'll sign him up, but obviously, like Tommy said, there is reports going on in regards to Chevalier being brought in there for him. So it does seem like... What's all this bullshit in the chat? New Sesko update. What's the new Sesko update? This is some bullshit, isn't it, from you guys there? Who's the new Sesko update from? Right, one of my mods, if you can confirm this, that'd be great. But anyway... So Donnarumma, guys, I really do think that this would be the best signing we could possibly make right now for any position in the team. Like, this would be the signing of the summer from any team if Man United could bring him in. He's going to solve many of the problems that we've got. He is a great keeper, great shot stopper, match winner. He's a match winner, guys. It's not just about the penalties, is it? It's about, his overall... shot-stopping ability, his overall presence, command, all that sort of stuff. He's top tier, guys. That's who we should be going to get. Then we would feel pretty confident going into the season. I would be buzzing if we could get him, because that's the position. It's one of the positions that makes the most difference. We're trying to get these goal scorers and strikers in the team to help us, and that's absolutely of paramount importance. But this guy will stop as many goals as those strikers will potentially save, because he's much better than Andre Onana. Let's be honest. This is a very, very guff story, very speculative, but I would love it. I would love it if we signed him, if we could get Gianluigi Donnarumma from Paris Saint-Germain. But I think what's going on right now is Paris Saint-Germain will sign him up to a new deal, and they're just going to end up having to pay him a shitload of cash. But I could be wrong. But I also believe that if he is leaving PSG, then he's probably not going to go to Man United. Let's be real. He's just won the Champions League there with PSG. He's probably wanted by pretty much any team in the world. Why would he really want to choose 15th place in the Premier League, Man United, with no European football? I just don't. It doesn't add up. It does not add up. We should try and get this guy 100% if he's available, especially on a free. Even if you have to pay him 350 grand a week, 400 grand a week. I know that's not really what we want to do right now, but you're getting the best goalkeeper in the world pretty much. It's going to guarantee you a solid base. So, but it's very unrealistic, guys, because if you were him, would you go to Manchester United right now? We're in a very uncertain time where there is no European football. Like, come on. I don't think we're the favourites to sign Gianluigi Donnarumma at all. No, not at all. But that's what this report says. Let's see what you guys are saying, though, on the goalkeeper situation in the live chat. We're still linked to Lamens. I feel like Lamens is the most realistic. I mean, Ben Jacobs basically said it how it is, and I think this is pretty much how it is, really. He said that if they stick to their original plan, it'll be a young number 2. That's where Senny Lamens comes in. Talks are still ongoing. Semi Lamens is open to a move, and it wouldn't surprise me after all of the clamour and noise around established replacements for Onana if they actually stick to their original plan and bring in a young goalkeeper. So what we need is a proven goalkeeper right now, somebody to do the job for us right now, which is where maybe, Martinez, Donnarumma, those sorts of guys would make a bit more sense. Senny Lamens could well be great for us, and I'd still rather take a punt on him at 23 than Andre Onana. But it does seem like maybe Senny Lamens is being brought in there just simply to be a backup or a number 2, somebody to challenge the likes of Andre Onana with potential for the future because of his age. I don't think we need another number 2, guys. We got a lot of number 2s and 3s and 4s at this football club. We have, for a start, we have, Heaton as the 3rd choice. We've got Bayender, seemingly the 2nd choice. And Andre Onana will still be around the gaff. So, what are we saying? What are we saying if we're signing Senny Lamens as a number 2? We're saying we're happy with Andre Onana? Because that's preposterous. We need someone to come in and replace Andre Onana. So if the point of bringing in Senny Lamens to United is for him to be the 2nd choice goalkeeper, then there is no point. Don't do it. What's the point? There's no point in that. But if he's coming in to replace Andre, then yes, fair enough. If he's got the potential and the abilities and we trust him now to be better than Andre, great. Sign Senny Lamens. Maybe we can get ourselves a cheeky bargain there and he will go on to be one of the best goalkeepers in the world. But remember, he's doing it over in the Belgian league for Royal Antwerp. It's a bit different. Donnarumma, on the other hand, I feel we should break the bank for Donnarumma, at least try and go for him. What are we going to do? Who else are we going to get that's better than that for the next 5-6 years in goal? It's impossible. That's the one to go and get. United of old would have got him. And we should go and get him right now and try and make a special deal this summer. Because I think that's the sort of signing that would really give this club a lift right now. To have somebody of that ilk in the goalkeeper position, it would give us a massive lift. Yeah, Pope's way more realistic. Oh, 100%. Pope's way more realistic. But, you know, there's levels to this game. Pope would be better than Onana, but Pope's nowhere near the levels of Donnarumma. Donnarumma's basically one of the best goalkeepers in the world, if not the best. Be insane if Donnarumma... It would be truly insane. Donnarumma isn't what we want. He loves the game for the money. He acted like a dickhead against AC Milan. He acts like a prima donna against PSG. Well, the thing is, though, I'd take him for 4 years of being a dickhead, to be honest, because he's absolutely amazing. Isn't he a great, great goalkeeper? That's what we care about, is how he plays for his team. It's not like he's arsing around, fanning around, not trying. When he's playing for his team, he's playing hard for his team. Didn't Van der Sar go to Fulham? Yes, he did. Very good point there, Madhouse. Yes, he did. City has interest in Donnarumma, also Chelsea. I would expect this. I would expect that most teams in the world would be interested in Donnarumma. There you go, Elliot. Well, one thing's for sure, PSG don't really have an inability to pay their players high wages, do they? Like, he will get probably what he wants at PSG. They might have to pay 350, 400k a week, whatever it is, but surely he'll get what he wants. They can't lose one of the best goalkeepers in the world there, surely. And if they do, well, they're having a bit of a melt, because that's part of the special piece of the puzzle they needed there to actually be able to finally win the Champions League, was to have a world-class goalkeeper. Neil Crow's update, Fjortov saying Sesko needs Newcastle but wants Man United. He then goes on to mention Coldplay. Interesting. Well, okay, well, there you go. Maybe he wants Manchester United, and if that's the case, then that would be absolutely brilliant, to be fair, because we need some strikers. We desperately need to bring in that new goalkeeper before Sesko Pig, otherwise we're finished going into the new season with Onana in goal. I agree, Sam. It's cementing us to losing 15 points if we stick with Onana. Thank you so much, TCG Hub, lad. Club only wants Watkins because he's cheap. I don't think he is that cheap, though, Jamie. You know, I don't know. You know, when you're getting him from a Premier League rival, you've got to pay that Premier League rival premium. I don't think he is that cheap. I think he's still going to cost 45, 50 million. Give me Donnarumma, pay him what he wants. I agree, Dave. Just pay him what he wants, Dave, lad. I agree, Dave. Couldn't agree with you more. Like, I know I've been saying let's not break our wage structure and pay players more than 200k a week right now. I have actually been saying that all summer. However, when a special player like Donnarumma pops up, if he's available on a free transfer, so you don't have to pay, 40 million up front, 50, 60 million up front, whatever he'd actually be, then I feel like you can make an exception, Decent signing on bonus, big wages. Come on. I mean, he's in his prime. He's going to be a great keeper for many years. Now, I know it's a bit delusional to even be talking about this right now, because as I've said, I don't think he's wanting to come to United. Why would he? But you just never know. We are still a huge football club, and we can pay well. Like, if we're prepared to pay him more money than anyone else, maybe he'd come to us. Do we really want players who are only coming for the money? Not really. But what if they get here and they're just absolutely world-class for 5 years? Then, it's money well spent, isn't it? Be real, people. Let's just get in Lamans, real target, realistic. The thing is, I don't want Lamans if he's going to be the number 2 to Onana, though. See, the reports we're seeing is that, we'd be looking at getting in Lamans to be a number 2 to Onana. What the hell does that achieve, lad? It achieves absolutely nothing. It puts us in the same position with Flubberhand in goal. United have made contact with the agent of Stefan Ortega from City. Breaking news. Oh, you what there, Samaconda, lad? Where are you getting this from? Lamans will take over halfway through season with Onana. Flappy hands goes to AFCON. That's a fair point, Muddy. And obviously at the start of the season, Andre Onana's expected to be out for a few games because of obviously he's injured. Oh, yes, good shout, the United history. Oh, you know my thoughts on Visser, but it just doesn't seem like Man United are going in for him at all. That's exactly who we should be going for, with that link-up and proven history with Mbeumo as well, and his price tag being probably less than the likes of Mateta and also Watkins. Visser makes the most sense, but yeah, it doesn't seem like we're going in for him. I don't know why. We already had that Ginger Goblin, Dutch Goblin, Portuguese Mr. Bean. What would you call Amorim if he fails? Poob and scammer him, lad. Pope would be kissing the goal area before kick-off. If Chelsea get Mike and Sanchez will be available. I think Sanchez, it's decent. Why would they even really wanted to be replacing Sanchez, personally? Pope is awful, says Josh Lee. Well, he's better than Andre, but that's not hard. I still say we have to aim higher. No, it's like obviously Newcastle going for Aaron Ramsdale now that Trafford went to City. I mean, Ramsdale was somebody that was on our list, apparently. But, it's just too mundane. It's not good enough. He's too bang average. We need somebody better. We need somebody with at least big potential like a Lamans, or the proven abilities right now like a Martinez, or a world-class, truly world-class player like a Donnarumma. I totally agree, Nomad. I think the most likely outcome is Donnarumma signs a new contract at PSG for huge money. I'm totally with you. Donnarumma stays United for a year before he forces himself out. That's my point. He doesn't care for the fans. Interesting point there, United history. But again, if you're signing him on a free transfer and he's forcing to move out in a year, what do you stand to lose? Even if that scenario plays out, which I don't think it would, but let's say that scenario plays out, you're still just going to make a profit, aren't you? Because if you're signing him on a free, even if you're paying him big money, you can sell him. You could sell him for big money in a year's time if that's how his attitude's going to be. But I don't think it would be. I think he'd be committed. Sesko to Man United, what about it, Olabi? It's possible, isn't it? It's being discussed. Man United club-to-club discussions here with RB Leipzig currently. Would you take Donnarumma for no strike? Will you 70 million on him? You would. I'd certainly take Donnarumma and no striker if that was the only possibility. I feel Donnarumma will save you lots of points in the season. I honestly feel like he would be the best signing we could make right now. Realistically, striker-wise, yes, we do need a striker, but we still have goals in the team up there. Donnarumma would be a big difference maker. Baleba would be a great shout as well, but big money. 65 million wouldn't surprise me how dumb we are. Villa for asking for a sizable fee for Watkins. That's a potential issue. Well, again, we walk away if it's too much. He's old. Yep, Baleba. Do you know what, dude? I've done the rabbit hole thing looking at Lamans, but it's not about stats. He's just got that stature and aura about him. Yeah, I mean, he looks very good. I've watched the clips. I've watched his highlights. He's a great shot stopper. He has got he's got size. He looks very good. He does look very good. But again, Premier League, you need that proven experience, I think, for someone to be the number one right now, which he doesn't have. But he does have potential to be so. And goalkeeper's a little bit different. If your reflexes are top notch, if you're a world-class shot stopper, it translates over, I think, a bit better than someone coming into the league, more so than, a different position. Not going to Newcastle. Hope not. We need a keeper to bench Onana for good. Donnarumma's okay for Man United. Donna plus a mid. Forget striker for now. Yeah, Donna plus a mid. I mean, I would take a Donnarumma plus a midfielder instead of a striker right now. I honestly would. Which is crazy because obviously striker is one of the most important positions for us to get. But Donnarumma's a special player, and if we could get a good midfielder... Well, that's way too much, Jeb. We should walk away from that. No, that's way too much. We shouldn't pay... 45 million quid is what Watkins should be. And if they want Garnacho, we'll sell him to them for 55 million. Therefore, they're only spending 10 million on Garnacho. That's what we should do. Onana hasn't been the same since the Royds rumour. What? Can Cunha and Mbeumo play at striker? I mean, they can. I think Cunha played 5 or 6 games for Wolves there last season, and Mbeumo the same for Brentford. So they can, but it's not ideal. Sesko could do really well, but we can't keep risking big fee signings. We need goals today. We need a keeper that will bench Onana and save the ball. Well said. We need a keeper who's coming in to be number one. Well said, lad. Well said, lad. Anyway, okay, so... well, that's what I mean, Muddy. You could easily make a great highlight video out of Andre Onana and make him look like the best goalkeeper in the world. That's so true, Muddy. Highlights are highlights. They only show so much. I always remember going back in the day, right, this is a long time ago. I remember seeing a video long time ago of Gabriel Obertan when Man United signed him. We signed Gabriel Obertan. And this video I watched made him, he's going to be the next Cristiano Ronaldo. I was convinced. I was convinced, guys, because I'd seen some shitty fucking compilation video of Gabriel Obertan doing unbelievable things. Now, we all know how that panned out. So we know that highlights only mean so much. Anybody can look good, especially from a lesser league. That's a fair point. Cunha can do as well. Yeah, well, he can do. That's a good shout. I mean, we've got the options of a lot of number 10s. So Cunha could play the striker position for us, maybe. That could happen. We still got Bruno, Mbeumo, Xerxes, Ahmad. All these guys that can still play the 10 as well. So, I mean, it could happen. We need Donnarumma and a plumber. That's so true. We also need a top defensive mid to allow Bruno to roam. That's a great shout, RK. I'm with you there also, brother. I completely concur. We need somebody who's very mobile there. I agree. Tricked. Onana played his best abroad. He's just not Prem material. Well, he's never played in the Prem. How do we know that? I mean, he's a world-class keeper, mate, winning Champions Leagues and stuff. I mean, that's a bit of a crazy comment, Links Red. Fair enough, he has played his best abroad because he's only played in Italy and France. But, you can't really say that he's... Okay, he's not Premier League proven, I'll give you that. But he's Champions League proven. He's You know, he's elite level proven. He's national team proven. You know, you saw Martial's compilation video and thought he was the next Henry. Yeah, well, that's another one. He looked fantastic before he came. Inter Milan, he had a Roy test that failed, said he took his missus pills or something. Oh, right, one of those tainted supplement type things. Well, I mean, I have to say, if Andre Onana was taking steroids, then he should definitely ask for his money back. You know what I mean? If he's taking performance-enhancing drugs, he's been stitched up there, hasn't he? Goodness me. More like performance-debilitating drugs that he's been taking, you know what I'm saying? Okay, no. Somebody swapped out his steroids and TRT there for ketamine without him knowing. Do you know what I mean? Oh, Watkins to United, we remember Danny Ings to Liverpool. Oberton was shocking, wasn't he? Yep, Danny Ings to Liverpool. Oberton was shocking, mate, yes. Piggy should do some vids of when we signed, just went sign out tonight. Oh, no, Anthony, also need a roofer for the Old Trafford leaks. Don't worry about Cunha's reaction to Bruno's moaning on the pitch, don't you? Pig, I worry about Cunha's reaction to Bruno's moaning on the pitch, don't you? I mean, no, I personally feel like there's place for different personalities, characters in the team. Some people are going to have more of a laid-back approach. Some people are going to have more of a nonchalant approach. Some people are going to have more of a shithouse approach. Some people are going to have more of a passionate approach. Some people are going to have more of a disciplined approach. Whatever. Actually, doesn't really matter. I care about the performances, really. You know, Berbatov, people say he was laid back. What a player he was, though, eh? You know, it depends. Onana played abroad with a top defence in front of him. Yeah, apparently we have appointed two new... Yeah, he did, and he got to a Champions League final as well, so interesting comparison. But he's just a flubber-handed mess. Apparently we have appointed two new directors, just seen wasting money again. You reckon Onana will have a blinder next season, mate, hopefully for another team. Donnarumma would save Man United 15, 20 points a season. Completely agree. Lurpak pills. Yes, mate. Lurpak pills. Right, guys, if you're just getting in, are you just getting in? We got 242 legends in it. Let's see if we can get 242 likes. Smash the like button. Give us a Bacon Brigade like spike. I'm also going to shout out everyone that's reposted us on X there in a minute. Before we get on with the rest. Just very quickly, I just did want to talk about this for a moment, actually, which is Anthony Dos Gastos. We know that the situation there is that Real Betis is seemingly waiting to try and get this deal done still, but they just can't afford him. And they're making Manchester United wait in the hope that they can get him for cheaper. But apparently Anthony has now rejected a move to Sao Paulo, Botafogo, so both teams over there in Brazil, and then Saudi Arabia as well. Apparently, is it Al Nassr that's interested in him? He only wants to join Real Betis at the moment as his next club. United want £30 million and not another loan move. Personal terms are not a problem with Betis. So personal terms not a problem. He wants to go to Betis. Apparently, he only wants to go to Betis, but Betis are going to have to stump up the money for him. They're not going to get him on a loan move again, and nor should we sell him on a loan move again. So, Anthony, there you go. Just a little update on Anthony. We are trying to sell him. Looks like we're not prepared to loan him. We want him gone permanently. We already loaned him out last season to Betis for them to try him. If they want him, they have to buy him. So, hopefully, they're going to be able to reach an agreement with United soon. But at the moment, they're taking a good time on it because, well, they want to get him for as cheap as possible. Yep, Chevalier to PSG. Well, it could be our loss, but what if we got Donnarumma, lad? Oh, probably estrogen, no roids. Oh, you feel sorry for Amorim's conjoint, the Glazers' lack of transfers. No, totally RK. It's the players out as well at the big problem. Ruben Amorim sold 17 players in his second season at Sporting. Yep, how many has he managed to sell this summer? We've got Rashford out on loan. What's the latest on outgoings? Exactly. That's the whole point, isn't it, Jeb? We're still going to have some of these melts in the setup. We're still paying paying money to these melts, and we're still unable to replace them properly, maybe because they're on the books. I mean, we're not even talking about really players like Højlund and Onana here, or Anthony. We're mainly talking about Garnacho and Sancho and those guys. But still, though, if you think about Onana, I mean, he's just a drain on the resources. We need somebody to replace him as the permanent number one. Oberton won more than half this squad when he was here. Yeah, fair enough. Anything in the works from Timo, Piggy? There needs to be, mate. There needs to be. There isn't actually at the moment, but there needs to be, lad. You do not trust Italian players for Man United team. Can't recall any good Italians for United. You're forgetting about the legend Giuseppe Rossi. I'm joking. About Federico Macheda, lad, that one goal against Villa. Everything else he did, absolutely awful. But yeah, that one goal, though. That's a fair point. Italians at United. I'm struggling there. Yeah, most of the Italians we've had have been gash, actually. You're right. Darmian was rubbish. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Nearly all of Ten Hag's signings have been atrocious. My God, yes, big time. Donnarumma should be the only exception to the huge wages concerns. Spot on, Sam. I would break the bank for Donnarumma. I would. Showing class in the UCL before the tainted supplement that went off a cliff because he probably stopped taking them. And Chewbacca! And Chewamani! And Chewits! Excuse me, guys, excuse me. Yeah, that's a fair point, Songley. Maybe there's something to do with it, lad. Yeah, Ezio, I'll be up for that, lad. Yeah. Anyway, right, we're going to get into the chat for a few minutes. Before I do, I'm going to shout out everyone that's reposted us on X, then we'll do a quick rundown of what we discussed. So thank you to everyone who's reposted us. Let me shout you all out. Thank you to that. You can give us a follow on X there using that link at the top. And shout out to the 12 legends that have shared it. Thank you for sharing it around, guys. Berberlad, United Flying High, Aidan Vickery, Kieran, J United, Louis Joshua, Ryan Neeson, Dizzy Red Devil, Boomy, Kane, Feline Fur, and John James Power. Thank you so much, you legends there, for sharing it around. That helps us out big time. While I'm on X there, I'll just have a look, see if anything come out in the last 20 minutes or so about what any of our players. Let's have a look. Any players that we're going for. And it doesn't really look like it. Arsenal remain in contact for easy. Luke Shaw comments. Oh, yeah, Luke Shaw comments, man. Who does he think he is, Luke Shaw? Is he actually going to be part of the first team this season? Is he? What's going on? Anyway, right, let's get stuck into the live chat. But before I do, let's just discuss what we said real quick. So, look, Donnarumma potentially leaving PSG. Man United should be interested, but again, I don't think it's very realistic. More than likely that he signs a new contract at PSG, and this is just to try and get more money out of them, I would imagine. Goalkeeper Lamens is also on the agenda, you know. We're still interested in Lamens as an option. Could be had for 17 million quid, somewhere around about there. Seems like the Martinez deal is dead in the water with Villa for some reason. I don't know why, but seemingly we're only interested in him in a loan move and nothing else, which is strange. But there you go. Also, the main story, I guess we were talking about earlier on, was in regards to our contact with RB Leipzig. Via Fabrizio Romano says that United have had a direct contact with Leipzig in the last 48 hours to start concrete conversations about the Sesko deal, with suggestions on a meeting taking place face-to-face in the next few days. And then also we've heard that Newcastle still have that very strong interest in Benjamin Sesko, and he's kind of a priority for them right now. So maybe they're leading the chase, but United still in contact with Leipzig to try and find out the deal details, conditions, and maybe there'll be a meeting taking place in the coming days. So those are the big updates, really, nothing crazy. But let's get stuck into the live chat then for a few minutes, see what you legends are saying. Thank you, everyone who's got in here. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe if you're new here for the first time. We're on here daily with the latest United news. We'll be back on tonight, and also we're doing the watch along for the Man United game at 2 a.m. We'll be back on 2 a.m. UK time. So join us for that. Man United are playing Bournemouth at 2:30 a.m. in America. Yeah, Darmian was gashed. Taibbi. Oh. Right, let's get stuck into the chat. Big up all the legends. Even Everton are panicking because they've only signed one player. Yeah, Moisey not happy. Choice of hydration today? Amazon Shepley Spring. Just realised I haven't even had a sip in the whole last hour. Thank you for the reminder to hydrate there, lad. Just wrapped my brain. We actually haven't had many Italian players. No, we haven't. That's a fair point. Just like German players, you can count the amount of German players we've had on probably your schlong. To be honest, there's only how many Germans have we had, guys? Obviously Schweinsteiger. I think, is that it? That might actually be it. Hello, Dublin Games. What's going on? Who's at all interested in what Luke Shaw has to say? Precisely, that's what I mean. Exactly. He's just some injury-prone melt. Even if he does talk a good game, give it a couple of weeks, he'll be on the physio table again. Lamens and Martinez will both be on the bench when Onana's flapping around in goal. That's awful, isn't it? What? Shaw said we win in the league. He's too many injuries. I know, he's off his head, isn't he? Sesko will definitely choose us over Newcastle. I hope so, Ezio. It's just whether or not we can afford to pay the deal that RB Leipzig want right now. We get attacking football. Italian football's more tactical. Sign Watkins, forget Sesko. We don't another 7-week saga. Can we get Donnarumma this summer? I hope I said that right. You didn't say it right, but we know what you're saying there, Tim. And I think we can't really. But you never know. I suppose stranger things have happened. Darmian, Macheda, Possibon, Rossi, Massimo Taibbi. That's a cash list, isn't it? Or why don't we get both Watkins and Sesko? Well, that's what we do in an ideal world. Good shout. You'd be amazed if you didn't try to hijack the Hayden Hackney transfer. Yes, I would be as well, Mr. Mister. I agree. Good young prospect coming from the Championship. He could be had for a little bit of cash. I agree. It's not much of a punt, is it? Do you think tonight's match is a real test of how ready we are for the season? Not really, you know, just some glorified exhibition guff over in America, isn't it really? More of a run out. Sesko buying Watkins loan for a season. I like it. Hello, Chappie, what's going on? If I can stay awake tonight, I'll tune in. If not, I'll wait for the result. A top man links, yes. Because we can't afford both, Jamie. It would be nice. Maybe we could if we were able to sell all the players we wanted, like Garnacho, Sancho, Onana, Anthony, Højlund. If you got rid of all of those, we could, but we can't get rid of all of those. Sesko or Watkins, one is a proven player, the other has potential. Who do we choose? I go for the proven right now, but I wouldn't say no to Sesko either, but I would certainly rather Watkins. Because like you say, he's proven. How did Depay fare? Well, there you go. That's another one of those players coming over from a league where it's just not as strong as the Premier League, and he struggled. He looked great in the Eredivisie. Record the game, it's on Sky Sports. Ortega might be a good option. Does Watkins actually want to go? Yeah, so we've heard there's some Ortega links here today from someone in the chat. Does Watkins actually want to go? I don't know. Personally, that's a good question, isn't it? Apparently, he would be open to leaving. Remember, last season, he was sort of out of sorts a little bit there for Emery. Love from India. Let's go, Thanos. Thank you so much for getting here from India, you legend. Onana, unsubscribers life if Donnarumma comes. Oh, God. You don't want to sell Garnacho because what if we get Jackson in return nightmare scenario? That would be awful, yeah. Chelsea can do, and I don't even want to do any business with Chelsea. You had high hopes for Di Maria and Sanchez, but they both failed miserably. Yeah, that's true. They were complete calamities also. We've had a lot of flops over the years, haven't we? Used cash installments for Sesko. I mean, Di Maria went on to have a great career, just not for us. Didn't want to stay here, obviously. And Sanchez, well, he just came for the money, clearly. Used cash installments for Sesko, straight swap for Garnacho, for Watkins. Love it, Johnny. I'd be up for that as well, yes. Just toss a coin, best of three heads. It's Sesko, tails, it's Watkins. Yeah, oh, yeah, well, everybody's better than Onana. Yeah, 100%. I mean, Jenny Ortega would be better than Onana. Do you know what I mean? Are you streaming tonight? We are, Elliot. We'll be on tonight for the watch-along. Anyway, guys, we're going to basically wrap this news stream up here. There is the lunchtime news. Thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. You're a bunch of legends. Keep hitting those likes. Help us get to 200 on it before we end. Smash the thumbs up. Smash the subscribe. Smash the bell icon for notifications. We'll be on later as and when there's more news. If there's some breaking news in regards to us putting in offers or, you know, real advancements in any negotiations, we'll jump on straight away. But if not, we'll be on late tonight with a cheeky transfer news update, and then we'll also be on for the watch along, which is taking place around about 2:30 a.m. UK time. So come and join us for that, guys, if you're around. Legends, and thank you everyone who's got in here and chatted with us and had your say. It doesn't have to stop there. You can come back after this video is finished and get your thoughts and opinions in the not live comment section and keep the debate going there. He's another one, isn't he, Tommy? What a player, but not at United. Diego Forlan as well. Couldn't really do it at United, but what a player. Yeah, Wednesday, speaking of Jenny Ortega, exactly. Nice one, MB, United history, Craw. Yeah, I know, I accidentally said Tesco there, didn't I? Mr. J, Craw, Umar, Amy, big ups there. What's going on from the West Biggie? Why not the US men's national team keeper? Dude saved PKs big time. Well, I mean, to be fair, the Americans, you know, the American goalkeepers over the years they've always been pretty good, haven't they? To be fair. But yeah, it's a no from me. Thank you for your comment, Johnny, Links, Jamie, Pete, Madhouse, Tosh, Elliot. Yes, and everybody else as well. Thank you for joining in. Do us a favour, hit the likes, hit the subscribe, click the bell icon, follow us on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch and Kick at Flying Pig United. Check out the website, flyingpigunited.com. All the links are in the description. Check out my gaming channel, Flying Pig Gaming. And just before I go, actually, let me go and get you the link to the watch along tonight. It's already set up, just so you can set a reminder if you want. It's for the Man United versus Bournemouth game, which is on at 2:30 a.m. UK time. I've set it up for around about 2 a.m. If you're around, come and join us. But let me just pop it in the chat, and then you won't miss it. Nice one. Cheers, everyone. Superstar BNG, have a great date from down under, you legend. Sean, Craw, Chappie, United, everyone. Jamie, legends. Right, here's the link right here, guys, in the chat. Watch along. 2 a.m. Crazy time, isn't it? What? Anyway, there it is. I'll pin it to the top of live chat, guys. Go do us a favor. Smash a like on it. Go over to that link there that's linked in the chat there and smash a like on that stream, and that'll help that stream out also. Legends. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. All the moderators, big up the mod squad. All the members in green, thanks for supporting the show. And everybody else who's in here. Big ups Colin, Poisonous Nut, Jamie, Craw, Amy, and everybody else as well. What a set of legends. Shout out to the mighty Hamada. I'll see you later. And also remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. Get in there, you beauties. Thank you so much to all the patrons here for supporting the channel on patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. As a thank you, all you legends will be appearing on this outro list. Get in there. Once again, thank you to all the YouTube members, but one of the best ways you can support the channel is on patreon.com, so check it out. Patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. And once again, a big thank you to all the legends that do support the channel on Patreon. Get in there.